They scorned her for giving birth at 70, but they never imagined what would happen later. At the age of 70, Doña Maria's life changed forever. Her great desire was to become a mother, and she achieved it until that age, when she did not expect it and became the mockery of many people. Despite what people thought, Doña Maria decided to enjoy the news and face what was coming. Maria was a woman of very strong character, who was determined to become an engineer at a time when this career was considered only for men, but her determination did not break her. No argument was given to her by her parents and friends. When Maria finished high school, she managed to qualify for the Faculty of Engineering and Design, which caused a great commotion, because there were only men. Maria turned out to be a good student. She always stood out for her excellent average. However, when she graduated from college, things were very difficult for her, because for the employers it did not matter her degree or her academic merits. But her gender, and because she was a woman, they discriminated against her and thought she was incapable of doing a good job. However, Matthias, one of her classmates who found a job quickly and advocated for her at the construction company where he was hired, managed to get her a chance. Maria turned out to be a great professional in the field, and the company recognized this and entrusted her with important projects. Maria and Matthias were attracted to each other since they were college students, but neither took the necessary first step. However, working together, they fell in love and managed to establish a relationship that lasted exactly 12 years. After that time, they got married, and he asked her not to have children, because the work they had was very demanding. However, Maria had the desire to be a mother, and she told him that she was willing to leave her job in order to raise her child. Matthias accepted her proposal, but the years passed and she was unable to get pregnant. They received several fertility treatments, but it was mission impossible. So they both resigned themselves to the fact that they would not be able to have children and continue their lives as normal. After 25 years of marriage, their relationship deteriorated, and Matthias left her to take up with a girl much younger than her. That was a hard blow for Maria, but thanks to her strong character, she was able to overcome it. At that age, she was the director of the construction company where she worked and dedicated herself to give the best of herself in what were already her last years of work. Then retirement came, and she dedicated herself to traveling the world with the savings she had, because she thought that her retirement would be enough to live on. One night, she heard a knock at the door of her house, and to her surprise, she found Matthias there, who had returned repentant for having abandoned her. The young girl had robbed him of all of his money and belongings. Maria felt sorry for him and told him to stay in the guest room. But a month later, he entered her bedroom and they resumed their intimate nights despite their age. A few months passed until the lady began to feel unhealthy and was forced to visit the doctor, only to discover what they had never imagined. Maria, at 70 years old, was pregnant. Matthias almost fainted from the shock, but unfortunately, he took a very cowardly attitude and assured that it was impossible. So that same day, he took his things and abandoned Maria for the second time. The first recommendation of the doctors was that the woman should have an abortion because her life was in danger due to her advanced age. However, she was willing to take the risk because she assured that she was healthy and felt strong enough to carry the gestation process. The murmurings of people were inevitable when they saw her with her wrinkled skin and her pregnancy, but she did not care about the comments of others. Her only concern was her health, so she went for a walk every day and ate very well, and the process culminated in a natural childbirth in which she gave birth to a completely healthy baby girl, leaving the doctors with their mouths open. Doña Maria had slept peacefully all her life, and at 70 years of age, she found herself with a newborn baby in her room, crying every 3 or 4 hours for nourishment. The first 2 weeks were terrible for the lady, who only had the support of a neighbor who came to help her wash. However, her body got used to her new reality, and little by little, she got used to the sleeplessness and all the hustle and bustle that comes with having a newborn at home. When she began to go out with the child in her arms, she was asked several times about the child's parents, because they did not believe that she was theirs. When Emelina turned 4 years old, she started going to kindergarten. her classmates shouted at her that her grandmother had already come for her. But the little girl did not see anything wrong with that, because for her, her mother was just like all the others. However, as she grew older, the curiosity of her classmates increased, and sometimes they asked her why her mother had wrinkled skin and their mothers did not. Other children were very cruel and went so far as to tell her, "Your mother is old." But none of that mattered to Emelina, because she loved her mother with all her heart. While Doña Maria gave everything for her, and despite being retired, she gave consultancy services to construction companies so that her daughter could have a good standard of living. She was also very participative in the activities of the school her daughter attended. At the beginning, some mothers avoided entrusting her with tasks that they considered could be too heavy for her. But as they got to know each other, they understood that she was a very active woman, and they integrated perfectly. Doña Maria was practically the soul of the parents' group. She was always optimistic and was the main organizer of the kermesse and cultural activities. Everyone learned to respect her, but what made her happiest was that her daughter was proud of her. When Emelina turned 15, her mother was already 85 years old, but that did not stop them from waltzing together. Her story was broadcast by several media as a sample of the willpower of the mother who did not mind the criticism or the mockery, because she was going to give birth when she was already a senior citizen. Doña Maria never cared about people's curious looks, and when she started to have social networks, she did not mind the comments on Facebook about the fact that she was branded as irresponsible, because she would leave her daughter orphaned at a very young age. She always said that the important thing was not how long we lived with a person, but how we lived it. Emelina in her social networks also took it upon herself to spread how much she loved her mother, for being a wonderful woman and so generous that she decided to continue with her pregnancy, knowing that it could get complicated. For the girl, her mother was the most vivid example of the strength of a mother's love. So, no matter what people said, that pair of women who were 75 years apart learned to be happy with each other. Well, dear friends, this is the end of today's story. We hope you enjoyed it, and we take this opportunity to invite you to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already done so. Hit the little bell and activate all notifications so that YouTube will always notify you when we upload a new video. See you next time.